And we continue moving on for another rendition of Crimes Notes. This is going to be topic 2-3. We are now solving multi-step equations. So I've written some steps up at the top. Remember, the first thing that we've been doing every time is drawing the line. This is to ensure that we know how the sides are split, so the left side versus the right side. Then we've continuously talked about making sure to check for fractions first. If we have fractions, remember we're supposed to multiply by the denominator. Then the third step is always going to be to distribute, and that's in order to remove any parentheses that you see. And then from there, you will combine like terms and then follow the steps. From there, you're going to use your opposite operations in order to solve. And that's to get, I guess I already had the word to get the variable by itself. So let's look at number 1. So the first step is to draw the line. So now I know here's the left side of my equation and here's the right side of my equation. From there, I'm supposed to check for fractions. I don't have any. Then I'm supposed to check for parentheses. I don't have any. So now I'm supposed to combine like terms. So for many of you, highlighters have still come in pretty handy. So if I go ahead and highlight my like terms, I have a y and a plus 4y, and then I have a minus 7. Now, this does go with this, but because it's not on the same side, we're not going to combine like terms. So you might write up here that this is sides separately. So then this is a 1, so I have 1y plus 4y, which is 5y. And then I have the minus 7 that would go by itself. And then I still have the 13 on this side of the equation. So now we're supposed to follow our regular steps. So where's the variable? Here it is. What needs to move? The 5 and the negative 7. And then remember, we kind of treat it like the party. So this is you. This is your best bud. This is your not so close bud. So we're going to kick this out first, or we're going to do PEMDAS in reverse order. So if this is subtraction, we're going to add 7 so that these cancel out. I now have 5y equals, and then 13 plus 7 is 20. Now I've got to get rid of my best bud. So if they're squished together, this is multiplication. So the opposite operation would be to divide. So I'm going to divide by 5. Those do divide out, and I'm left with y equals 4. Good. So I'm going to leave number 2 for you to do. I'm going to jump down and do number 3. Once I've done number 3, you can go back up and do number 2. So number 3, remember our first step is to draw the line. Then we're supposed to look for fractions, which we don't have any. Then it says to distribute to remove parentheses. Well, I do have parentheses. So this is just in the front, so I'm going to write it down. Now I'm supposed to distribute whatever's in front. So that's a negative 3. And then the big thing that many of you guys are missing is this negative. Many of you are getting problems wrong because you're counting this as a 1 and not a negative 1. So watch for those negatives. So then I would do negative 3 times 2, which is negative 6, and then I have the r. And then I have negative 3 times negative 1, which is a positive 3. So now I've gotten rid of the parentheses. Now I'm supposed to combine like terms side separately. So my like terms, I have a -9 and a +3. And then I have that 6r that goes by itself. So -6r, and then -9 plus 3 is -6, and that still equals -18. And now I'm ready to solve using my normal steps. So from here, here's the variable. This needs to move, and so does this. This is not my best bud, so I'm going to remove it using opposite operations. So I'm going to add 6. And again, what we do on one side, we always have to do on the other. So these do subtract out to make 0, leaving me with -6r. Again, do not lose the sign. And then -18 plus 6, and again, if you need a calculator, use it. This would be -12. And now I'm ready to divide in order to get the r completely by itself. So then I get r equals 2. Good. All right, so I'm going to start you off on number 4. Okay. On number 4, remember there isn't anything out here, so it's a 1. Same thing, a variable by itself represents a 1. Here's a negative by itself, so this is a 1. And another x by itself, which is a 1. So I draw my line. Then the next step is fractions. We don't have any. The next step is to distribute to get rid of parentheses. So 1 times 1x is 1x. 1 times -3 is -3. Then -1 times 1x is -1x. -1 times -5 is +5. And then I still have this 2x out here, so I'm going to put plus 2x. So now we're ready to combine like terms on sides separately. So I've got 1x minus 1x and then plus 2x. And then here's a -3 and a +5. So 1 minus 1 is 0, plus 2 is 2. So this would be 2x. I guess I could have been, let me move it a little closer to my line over here. And then I have -3 plus 5. So that's exactly how we would put it in our calculator, and that would give you plus 2. And that's supposed to equal 0. So from there, I want you to go ahead and solve that one. Good. So let's look at 5 and 6. 5 and 6, I'm going to do much the same way. I'm going to try to get them kind of set up for you. And then once they're set up, I'm going to have you solve them on your own. So we go ahead and draw the line. Once I draw the line, I'm supposed to do fractions first. I don't have any. Then I'm supposed to distribute to get rid of parentheses. So I do have several things to distribute here. And then if you notice, there's a third term inside the parentheses. So I've got to distribute to all 3. So 5 times g, which is just a 1. So 5 times 1 is 5g. 5 times -7 is -35. Positive 2 times g, which is 1, would be plus 2g. 2 times -3 would be -6g. 2 times positive 15 would be positive 30. So from there, I want you guys to combine your like terms. So I've got 5g plus 2g minus 6g. So all 3 of those go together. And then I have -35 and a positive 30. So see if you guys can put those together and then solve that equation. Then let's look at number 6. First step is to draw the line. Second step is to look for fractions. Well, this time I do have fractions. So I'm supposed to multiply everything by the denominator. So if you notice, both of these fractions have a denominator of 2. So I need to multiply the entire equation. So that means this times 2, this times 2, this times 2, and this times 2. So this time I do want to show it to you in the calculator, not so much the 8 times 2. So 8 times 2 is 16. But then I need to multiply negative 1/2 times 2. So if I do our fraction button, negative 1/2 and then times 2, I get negative 1. So this is negative 1p. Then I need to do negative 3/2 times 2. So we do the same thing, negative fraction 3/2 times 2. I get negative 3p. And then over here, I've got to do negative 10 times 2, which is negative 20. So then from here, you do have some like terms that you can put together. So I've got a negative 1p and a minus 3p. And then I've got that 16 that would go by itself. So from there, see if you guys can set it up and solve. Remember, if you have questions, just ask.